Money that Hillary Clinton and the DNC used to pay for the dossier ultimately ended up in the account of the number 4 person at the Department of Justice, Bruce Ohr, and his wife, Nellie Ohr. I'm going to sit down with some of my colleagues, with Mr. Ohr, and give him an opportunity to explain exactly how that came to pass, and more importantly, who at the Department of Justice authorized it.
Those are important questions. DOJ official Bruce Ohr expected to give closed-door interviews to 2 House committees next week as he comes under fire for his connection to former British spy and author of the Trump dossier, Christopher Steele. President Trump said Friday that Ohr could be the next person to have his security clearance revoked. Let's bring in Congressman John Ratcliffe, a member of the House Judiciary Committee. Thank you very much, Congressman, for your time this morning. What would make that much different than what we just saw happen with John Brennan is that Bruce Ohr is a current employee of the DOJ, correct?
Absolutely. You have to ask yourself, with regard to security clearances for Bruce Ohr, this is the number 4 person at the Department of Justice at the time of all of these events, yet had no counterintelligence experience or authority, and yet was involved in this very high-profile counterintelligence investigation where his immediate supervisor, Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein, said he had no authority. We've come to find out, as was just played in that clip, that he was also benefiting from it financially. So you have to ask yourself, a person engaged in that activity, why would they still have security clearances?
And I'm sure that's what you're going to ask him when you sit him down behind closed doors. So what exactly do you and other House Republicans want to ask Bruce Ohr when you finally have him behind closed doors for this sit-down session?
Well, so many questions about this troubling fact scenario. Again, to remind your viewers, we were all concerned when we heard that there was this unverified dossier, the Steele dossier, at the basis of getting a warrant to surveil Trump campaign associate Carter Page. It became more troubling when we found out that it was Hillary Clinton and the DNC that paid for that. But most troubling of all right now is that we have come to find out that Bruce Ohr, through his wife Nellie Ohr, has profited from the creation of that Steele dossier, because Nellie Ohr was retained and paid by Fusion GPS to work with Christopher Steele to create that dossier. We have also come to find out that Bruce Ohr was communicating with Christopher Steele for 10 months before the first FISA application and for another 7 months after the first FISA application. There's a lot of questions about why a guy who had no responsibilities or apparent authority to be involved in this investigation was so involved.
So should he, too, have his security clearance revoked?
I would have already done it, Sandra. I don't know why folks under that level of scrutiny for that type of misconduct that can clearly be documented at this point would still have security clearances. It's not an issue of free speech, as John Brennan would like to say. It's an issue of national security. Why would we give someone under the level of scrutiny that we're looking at for this type of misconduct or perhaps illegal conduct access to sensitive national security information?
You know, Congressman, for the American people, we see these, closed-door sessions, questioning by House Republicans on this issue. And the Americans see you, and that this is going to happen finally with Bruce Ohr in this case, August 28th. You're going to sit down, you're going to ask them questions. What do you anticipate will actually come of this? Will there be any change? I mean, he's still employed at the DOJ.
He is, and he is a federal employee, and there is a process that takes to remove anyone from that position. We certainly saw that play out with Peter Strzok. It took a long time before he was ultimately, through an internal review process, terminated by the FBI. I don't know ultimately what will happen with Bruce Ohr, but it's right for all of us and the American people to question why someone under this type of conduct would still be employed there. But behind closed doors, what we'll have is an opportunity to go into the details about all of this activity that has really caused so much concern for the American people regarding the Department of Justice and the FBI, and why so many people have had their confidence shaken that the department and the FBI are doing the right things for the right reasons, because it certainly appears that in connection with the election and the events surrounding the election of Donald Trump in 2016, that was not the case.
Yeah. Well, you will be leading that questioning, Congressman Ratcliffe, so we will look forward and anticipate to whatever may come out of that when it happens, August 28th. Thank you very much, sir, for your time this morning.